Hello everyone, welcome to Exams A to Z. So today Rakesh is with us. He actually selected as a GST inspector in 2018 Ssc Cgl, and he got around 684 out of 700 marks in 2019 Cgl. And the rank is yet to come. Okay, I'm sure that he'll be in top 100. So now he share his success secret with us, how we actually prepared in 2018 and 2019. First, I'll request Rakesh to share the strategy for 2018, what he followed and what he followed for 2019. And before that, let me introduce himself first. Rakesh, please introduce yourself, and then after you can share your success strategy.
Hi everyone, this is Rakesh. I was selected as GST inspector in 2018 CGL, and I have given my CGL 2019 and I just scored 684 out of 700. And currently I'm working as GST inspector in Guntur, which is in Andhra Pradesh. I scored around 604 out of 700, 604.9 out of 700 in CGL 2018. My tier 1 score was 166, tier 2 was 362. My quant score is 181 and English is 181, and I scored 76 in tier 3. In CGL 2019, I scored 192 in tier 1, and in tier 2 quants I scored 242, and in English I scored 189.6. And in tier
So
3, my
his
score
score
is
in tier 1, he got around 153. This is one of the toughest shift, and he got normalized score as 191. And when you look at his tier 2 score in maths, it is 195. His normalized score is 243 almost. And raw score in English was 188, and 189.6 is his normalized score. And tier 3 in 2019 he got 60, but in 2018 he got 76 in tier 3. So he's going to share his tier 3 strategy as well. So yeah, Rakesh, continue.
Yeah, I just scored less marks in 2018 tier 1, that is 166. I was a bit scared that I might get into the list, finalist or not, but tier 2 and tier 3 scores of my 2018 exam just boosted and made me up in the list. I just scored very less marks in quantitative aptitude in 2018. This is due to lack of my preparation and lack of time at that time as I was working in Infosys. Then in tier 2, I just put my all efforts during the 2 months period, and I scored 181 in normalized score is 181 in max. This just boosted my overall score, and the same 181 in English. That is an average score. I mean, like above average. It's a just decent enough score, but max score just it's very good. And even in tier 3, 76 is a really good score. I would like to share you the important things which I followed that might help you in tier 2 and tier 3.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Rakesh tier 1 score was 166 something. So actually he did not take any coaching for 2018 tier 1. He started coaching with us in tier 2 2018. And see, even if you score less in tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3, if you put decent efforts, it can fetch you a job. So that's what happened in Rakesh's case. He was actually working. He took a leave for I think 2 to 3 months, Rakesh. So
actually
yeah,
6 months I took.
yeah, 6 months leave he took, but he prepared around for 3 months for tier 2 maths and English. So he's going to share in these 3 months what are the efforts that he put. He scored around 180 in maths in 2018. And 2019, if you look at his normalized score, that is 242 because he got a little bit of extra time. So in this extra time, what are the things that he has done? Also, he'll explain.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, in 2018 tier 1, my quant score was very less, and it's around 24 to 25 marks out of 50. This is the only reason I just scored very less in tier 1 as I was working. And for the tier 2, I just worked on max for 2 months. And the main reason for my improvement is the marks. I have given around 8 to 9 marks for Tier 2 Max. As you all know, it takes 2 hours for the exam, and I usually give 2 more extra hours for analysis of the exam after the exam. And this analysis, I would like to I used to spend time on every question. Out of 100 questions, there might be 40 questions might be easy, 40 questions moderate, and 20 questions might be tough. So instead of focusing only on the 20 questions which are tough, I used to focus on all the 100 questions. And if there is an easy question, like let's say 1 to 40 questions are easy, and for these 40 questions, I used to think in what better way. If I can do, I can decrease my time. Let's say I might finish the question in some 30 to 40 seconds. How can I finish this question in 20 seconds? Like, if you improve in this way in all the 40 questions for like time, if you decrease your time, there might be some more time that you can allocate to the toughest questions, and you can solve those during the exam, which might boost your score when compared to others. And even the moderate ones, I used to check for some other multiple ways that can minimize my time. And the toughest ones, definitely you would there might be some questions which you were which you
More
might not be
calculative.
able to answer. Yeah. uh, and during this process, I found that calculation is the key. So I used to know all the tables. Like when it comes to calculation, I used to, it's not like you need to know the tables only when you are studying. It's like I used to do certain things while traveling in a bus or going outside. I used to just make my brain sure that it's just thinking about some numbers in a way that I used to learn all the tables from 1 to 20. It's not 20, some 18 into 6, 18 into 16s, everything. It should be on spot. Like, your brain should get that answer on spot. And even cubical numbers, like up to 30 cubical numbers, squares 1 to 100 squares. So
So
this
basically, you
minimize.
practice the calculations. So you
Yeah,
used to
this will
practice
definitely,
calculation all the time.
yeah, this will
So whenever,
definitely minimize.
yeah.
Whenever I used to do a question, uh, when you are very quick in calculations, it decreases your pen and paper effort. You can do it in your brain, and this will definitely be helpful to you. And as I
And
told you before, that
in tier one, what is actually okay? The flow that you have followed. Which section you attempted first? Because in tier one, most of the students will leave those 5 or 6 questions in the maths. Okay, so generally students come to me and ask. So because I know that you used to see all 100 questions, right? So what is the approach that you have followed? And if a tough question comes, do you used to do it at the end or at the beginning? And how you used to mark and do it? How you used to organize those 100 questions? Because it's all about time. So how do you used to manage that 60 minutes of time for 100 questions?
in 2018 tier 1, there was no enough time for me actually. As I told, I haven't given marks. The time was not sufficient for me at that time, but in 2019 the time was enough. The change is that in 2018 I was not so quick in maths, but in 2019 I was quick. For GK
Same
I
time.
just prepared in 2018, and my way of answering is, first I will go with GK. I'll give 5 minutes of time for GK, and in this 5 minutes, I'll be able to answer all the 25 questions. Later, I used to give 10 to 15 minutes max, 10 to 12 minutes of my time for English. Around max 20 minutes, I would cover both GK and English.
Reasoning, English.
Later, I would come to reasoning. Reasoning, it just takes around 15 to 20 minutes. And later, that 20 to 25 minutes of time, I would take it for quantitative aptitude. And depending on the paper, if the reasoning is tough and quantitative aptitude is easier, the time would be a bit changing.
So first you used to give GS, then after English, then after reasoning, and then after maths. So if any tough questions you face, will you do it at the end, or you okay? You used to mark it and do it at the end, or else you used to solve in the process only.
No, in tier 1, we really have a short time, so I would never waste my time on a difficult question. That's not going to decide my rank. The process, like, you should answer more number of questions, not all the
All the
questions. So I would definitely skip the tough ones, and uh, I made sure that I wouldn't regret that I missed out an easier question out of 100 questions in my 2019 Tier 1. This made me score 192 out of 200. And see, simple logic is that if you miss an tough question in any part of the exam, like Tier 1, Tier 2 or anything, if you miss out an tough question, it's
Only
of no
lose
loss to you.
last year.
Everyone misses the same. But if you miss out the easier question, you are lagging in the race. So this used to
Right.
be my thought.
Right. So what are the books actually you covered for, let's say, starts with GK? What was your preparation for GK? So as you said, GK is very important part for Tier 1. So what are the things that you have done it for GK? And what are the books you followed? What was your
I never
preparation for GK?
I never neglected GK in Tier 1. I used to give a lot of effort, and I scored more than 30 in GK, 35 around, I think. For this, my initial preparation started with Lucent. I completed entire Lucent. I know it's a bit tough, but that's the only key to get so that you can score more number of questions. For example, in history, if there is Magadha kingdom, after reading the entire, I mean, like after reading about the kingdom in Lucent, I used to go to Google and search like Magadha Ssc in this way, and I used to open all the first four links and check what
So
all the information.
you used to cover everything about that topic, which is related to
Yeah.
SSC. So you used to everything related to that topic at once you used to cover.
Yeah, I used to cover, and I used to note down the missed out points that are missed out in Lucent, so
So,
that next time whenever I read, all the information is present all together in a same place, and it becomes easier for me. When you take about a single chapter, it might look easy, but when you are studying on a whole before the exam, it will definitely be tough if you are not in an organized way. Even though initially it might take time, in the final stages of your exam, it would be easy. So in 2019 Tier 1, this also helped me, like noting down all the information at one place, so that a revision will be very quick. And
all right.
in the same way, I read every topic, and if there are something like national parks in the country, I used to draw it up. Like if there is Lucent, all the national parks might not be present, so I used to take a white note and save the notes. Like I used to write down all the national parks from different websites, and whenever I find something new, I used to note down. And some people say that even though you study this much, you might not be able to answer the question, so it's a waste of
Questions.
time. But according to me, if you can answer in a fraction of second, you can beat many people by that 2 marks. So if you read,
So
if
everything
you
is
invest this
important
much,
for Tier 1.
yeah, if you invest this much of time, and if you are not able to answer, no one is able to answer. So your efforts will never go vain when you prepare GK, according to me. But certain people might invest more time in max and GK, I mean
So
max and English, and might
how much time you used to put it for GK for Tier 1?
uh,
So what is the overall time that you put, and do you used to practice GK daily?
yeah, like studying GK daily is must and should, because whenever you study for a short term and you leave the topic, you will definitely forget that. So uh, even though you study 1 hour, study it daily. That continuity will definitely help you uh, memorize all the things. Instead of if you study entire one day for GK, and if you leave it for a week, and again if you study after a week entire day for GK, that doesn't make sense, because you will forget all these things. And when you study history for 2 days, and if you don't touch the history for one or 2 3 weeks, then again you will just lose all that. And so instead, study in a continuous way. Study, for example, if you study for 3 hours in a day for GK, put like study 1 hour for 1 hour you study history, 1 hour you might study, you can study polity, or 1 hour you can study some miscellaneous things. So
But you used to study
altogether,
daily.
yeah, definitely studying daily will definitely make things easier.
For current affairs,
And
or what are the sites, or what are the books that you used to follow, or sites, or magazine, any such?
current affairs, I just did like in YouTube. I used to uh, I can't remember the site exactly, but let it be any site. Just write all the important current daily current affair notes from YouTube channels. Actually, they are
Oh, no.
providing a lot more than needed. Actually,
Needed.
that's enough.
Right. Right. So what are the things that you have done for English?
As I told you before, for max, I used to memorize things while I was outside. I used to just check the meanings, idioms and
Vocabulary.
phrases, vocabulary in my mobile whenever I was outside, or when it's just you just study it like a time pass thing. Don't sit and mug up all the 100 meanings a day, 100 meanings a day. Instead, just study 40 meanings a day or 30 meanings a day. And whenever you study certain meanings today, again when you study a new set of words tomorrow, don't forget to memorize or recall these things which you studied yesterday, so that it can uh, make like it can make your vocab strong. It's not like
Right.
something you mug up and leave those. Just try to use them, or in that way I just studied Neetu Singh and previous year uh, Ssc Cgl English words
But
like
you used to
vocab.
practice.
Yeah, and even in Google when you try to find the synonyms, you can find many synonyms near in one place. So I used to take screenshots of all these things, so that just whenever I was bored I used to revise
You
all
used to
these
revise.
things.
So for maths, what are the things that you have followed? How was your preparation?
Yeah,
How many marks you have done? Do you use to complete chapter wise first, then go for marks? What are the things that you have done?
yeah, definitely. In my initial stages I used to do chapter wise, and I started with Rakesh class notes, and I did that book for 2 to 3 times. Then later on I just did Kiran's previous year questions. I just finished half of the questions in that book. So this helped me to know the questions which might come in the exam, and in what way should I be ready to answer them. So when you do the previous questions, instead of being like a naive, you'll be an experienced. Whenever you see the question, you'll be like, yeah, you can do this in this way, in this way, in this way, and you can come to the final result in few seconds. This makes you stand above all the others. And as I told, analysis of the marks is definitely a key thing. I used to analysis. I used to do my analysis for 2 hours, and I gave around 8 to 9 marks for my max, as I had no time. And in 2019 tier 2, I have given some 25 to 30 marks, and
So after every mark, you used to analyze. So how many marks you have given before your tier one and your tier two, and what are the approach that you followed in mocks?
yeah, for tier 2 in 2018, I have given for max I have given 8 to 9 marks, and in tier 2 2019 I have given 25 to 30 marks. This just adjusted my time sense, and it just boosted my confidence. And all these marks I have attempted in textbook, textbook.com, or any let it be any test. I mean, like test set, it's fine.
Hmm.
But you just check the rank, your overall India rank, and that is what decides your exact position. As this is all based on ranking position instead of marks. If the mark is very tough, you might score less. If the mark is easy, you might score more. So never compare your marks with the previous mark. You just compare your rank, all India rank, with your previous all India rank mark. So in this way I used to check my ranks, and all
So
my
you
ranks
used to
improved.
analyze after every mark.
Yeah, all my ranks in the mocks I used to improve test by test. And this is the reason, like this happened because of the analysis which I did in the marks. I used to analyze all the marks clearly, and this will definitely help you to improve your score in this final exam. Instead of writing 2 marks for 4 hours, write a mark for 2 hours and do analysis for 2 hours. This would definitely be beneficial, and you will definitely do all the questions which you are lagging behind in time, or which you feel very difficult. And even for tier 1, uh, if you do more number of marks, this would help you to analyze the time. And if you are stuck in between, like if you find some 2 to 3 questions difficult, it doesn't pressurize your mind when you are having some experience. Instead, if you go directly and give an exam, like I'm the example, like in 2018 tier 1 I'm just scored 166, and 2019 I scored 192. This is all because of marks and a bit more knowledge on the concept.
So how did you
However,
improve your concept? And the concept wise, what helped you really?
yeah, for 2018 tier 1 I just gave the exam without my preparation, but for 2000 but for tier 2 I just joined Classmate Academy, where my concepts became much more clearer. And see, if you are a pro in maths, then it might be easy for you to do on your own. But if you are a beginner, or if you are an average student, it would definitely be useful to go to some coaching institution, because they would all try to crisp the important matter and put in front of you, instead of you searching for all the books for some new ways or shortcuts, as our like experienced faculty would have already invested a lot of time getting the short and important tricks that are needed. And simple, it's so simple. When 10 lakh people are writing and everyone are getting this coaching material, and if you prepare on your own, it just takes a lot of time. That is what I want to tell you. So based on your personal like strengths, you should decide whether it's important or not.
What is your preparation strategy for tier 2?
Prior to
How much time you used to spend after tier 1, or what is your daily progress or your daily schedule? What do you used to do?
Yeah, there might be around 2.5 months or 3 months max available in between the period. And during this period, first 1.5 month I used to completely do all the questions from all concepts. Conceptually, I would be strong. And then last month I used to give a mock daily, like in a day I used to give an exam for maths and English. After I used to study around 7 to 8 hours. I mean, like 2 hours for the max exam, 2 hours analysis for max, that mock test, and English mock is around 2 hours, and analysis for 1 hour or so. In this way, around 7 hours I used to dedicate, and I gave around 25 to 30 marks in a month. This really helped me know where I stand among the all India rank, and this also boosts your confidence.
For tier 3, what are the things that you have followed for tier 3?
Tier 3, it's like I have taken all around 50 topics or so, like education, health, schemes of government, and defense, all these like scientific developments or
So what is
gadgets,
happening currently? So those topics you used to pick it up.
a wide variety of topics, and I used to have a bit basic knowledge about every topic. And I used to write notes. I used to take, for example, education. I used to finish the essay in 250 to 350 words, analyze where can I improve, where can I write a bit more better way. And I used to also read some proverbs, so that I can put those in the beginning or in the end. And you should even consider the key facts or percentages or values, data values. And if you are clear, you write the value instead of writing some wrong data. If you write some wrong data, this will definitely
Reduce
decrease
your
your
marks.
marks. If you are clear with the facts, you just attempt that. It would definitely boost your marks, and be more clear and
With the stats.
crisp while you are writing. Don't repeat the same thing in the essay. And while you practice more and more, like when you write the first essay, second essay, you might find it difficult. But when you write some 20-30 essays in your preparation period, it might help you how to write, and what to prepare and what not to. This might help you, and
So writing
might find all.
more essays will help you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You might find all the updated topics and new topics in the on online sites. This would be easier to collect information.
And what finally you wants to say? Now the tier 1 2020, okay, is in 2021 is in now. Now it is in April. So it is almost 20 to 25 days now. So for these 20 to 25 days, what is your guidance, and okay, how would you like to spend their time? Because like how
So
you want them to spend their time in the for the last 20 to 25 days.
I would like to say just be consistent in your preparation. Never get demotivated. There might be some papers which might be tough and you might score less, but that shouldn't demotivate. And there are high chances that you can improve your graph from down to up while you're going through the phases of tier 1, 2, 3, and 3. And as you know, this is a tedious process. This consistency is definitely a matter. Even though you score very high score in tier 1, you might lose in tier 2 and tier 3 if you are not consistent. And if you are more consistent, you might improve. As you can see, my score 166 and tier 2 362 and 76. So definitely have faith in yourself and be more I mean like strong enough to pass all the three stages comfortably. And with this, definitely give marks. This is really important, and you might know the importance of the marks after the test.
So it makes easy for you to write the final exam.
And never ever neglect any subject. Take all the subjects. Give importance to all the subjects so that at least you should at least be a decent enough candidate in every subject. Never come below the average limit, so that it might result in a low score of your aggregate. And
Right. So is there any final tips that you want to give, Rakesh, or to share with the students?
yeah, as I told, just believe in yourself. As this is a long process, never get demotivated by some other words like you might not do it. All these things, this just comes in everyone's life, and just don't waste your time in social media at this moment. After you finish this might be you might be entirely free. As you can see, I'm actually in office, and you'll have your time to do everything. At this moment, just focus on your exam. So all the best to everyone.
Is there any final tips that you want to give us for our students?
Yes, sir. Like I would like to tell everyone to be consistent for a period of 7 to 8 hours for this entire journey. Not 7 to 8 hours. It's based on their capabilities. For an average student, it basically it's around 7 to 8 hours, and the rest of the time they can do whatever they want. They can watch movies or something, but daily you need to study it in a daily way, not just that you studied 10 hours today and skip next day. The next day you study for 10 hours. It's not the it's not in this way that you should study. And uh, I used to make plan every night for the next day, like whatever the topics I need to study, whatever I need to complete, and then give time for my other things. And as I mentioned, the marks are really important. Never ever neglect these marks, and keep your mind clean. Don't get demotivated, and never get depressed because of the marks. If you get very less marks in a tough shift, rank is all that you need. Just compare your rank in all India. I think these are enough. These might be enough according to me, and I wish all the best to everyone.
Fine. Finally, I want to say something to end it. So, okay, when Rakesh joined us, what I have observed in Rakesh and what helped him actually success in this exam. So, I'll end by saying those things. So, what I have observed in Rakesh is, okay, he might not know that, but okay, as per a teacher perspective, I can say from my side, he was consistent throughout tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So, he was, okay, never missed his study. So he always used to study. He used to spend every day. Okay. So he never used to waste the time. That is the key. So after writing tier one, even though he was good with the concepts of maths and English, okay, he always used to practice again maths and English. And when he was attending the classes also, even if he knows concept, he used to sit the entire class to know at least one or two logics. If at least, okay, he's not used to miss even that one or two logics which will help him in the exam. So everything he gathered, okay, that actually helped him to crack this exam. 195 out of 200 is not everyone gets it, okay. And I know those two questions he missed, those are also silly mistakes that usually happens. If he had those 2 minutes, he would have definitely scored 200 out of 200, and his score is 684 out of 700, which is definitely one of the top 100 scores. I guarantee you that. So the patience that he has, okay, and the effort that he put in, that made him success. Okay, thank you very much spending time with us, Rakesh, and all the best for your future. Thank you very much.
Thank
It will help us
you.
a lot. Right. Thank you, Rakesh.